Hi, April here. So I'm totally fascinated with the flat earth theory. There's a couple of reasons for that. There's because I've flown about 12 times, and every time I thought, wow, it looks so flat. And I never thought to question myself. Number two reason why is I remember being a little advanced in school, and in school around fourth grade, I remember asking the teacher when we were learning about fact and opinion. In the book, there was a little picture of green land, like this, all lumpy looking, and there was a little explorer on it. And I remember raising my hand and asking him, well, back when they thought the world was flat, they really thought the world was flat. So was that a fact or an opinion? And she said I would learn that in ninth grade. Well, I've never learned what that was. Was it fact or opinion? And that stuck with me forever. I remember asking that question because it didn't make any sense to me. I also remember thinking, living in Jacksonville, Florida, and going to the beach, the ocean water is really mostly brown in color. You know, there's the sky and then there's the ocean water. It's not that it's dirty, it's just that it's really actually very rarely blue. It's actually brown. And so I was like, why does the globe from sky show a earth that is got all this blue water when it's really brown? There are few places that it is blue, but it's really quite an exception. Also, whenever you look at the horizon and the ocean where they meet, it's impossible to measure where it meets because there's I guess like this in your field of vision. It's like a couple inches that you can't tell if it's ocean or sky because it's the vanishing point. So it's about like this in your field of vision. You can't tell what it is. It blends right in. I've come across Jesus, Stephen Christ, whatever his name is, I don't care. But he's got some misinformation, and not that, but it's interesting theory. But in general, I would like to talk about the biggest issue I have is him about New Jerusalem. Here's a picture of mine. Okay, I don't know if it's going to show up very good. Okay, here is, let's say, his cellular cosmology PDF is a decent thing to review. I do believe we have a similar cellular cosmology, and I do believe outside the cellular cosmology that there's like a plasma, the water, separating the water from the water, but above the zenith, the very top, if you have if any of you take freaking algebra, and I did, there's a zenith, okay, at the very tippy top, and it's not Polaris. Polaris is a little off of the zenith. It goes around the zenith of the dome. Let's see if I have kind of a picture of the zenith issue. Maybe it might help you. Here, the zenith, the very tippy top, okay? The sun is on a disk above us, and from our vanishing point perspective from here, it does appear to go between 23.4 degrees and between 3.4 degrees south and 23.4 degrees north and south, okay? And it makes anywhere you are in the world, according to this map and my watching of this map for months, okay? This is the, everybody knows the AE map at this point. So I'm here in Florida. Noon is here for me. No matter where you are, your section here, something dirty on my hand, I do a lot of gardening, would be noon, okay? So if you're here, whenever the sun is here, it's noon. I wanted to get people to get more familiar with this map. Notice here is 0 degrees, okay? And then 180 degrees from 0 degrees is the international date line. This is where the time changes, okay? So day, time change, 180 degrees. there's a whole lot of empty space here. Now on this map, this 1984, it says that this is the U.S. Trust is what it's for. And I looked it up, the U.S. Pacific Trust. Shortly after this was over, this map was done, that split up. And some of these little, tiny little islands now are, sovereign, but we still cover them militarily wise. The United States, covers them military. Why? Why do we care about them being protected if they're sovereign? Because there's a lot of empty space there. Hello. That's a tip off to me that there are hours that the sun goes round, that it barely sees any land, and that's not congruent with any other area except for over the Indian Ocean. Now, also living in Florida, and whenever there's been launches, I've gone outside and watched them, and they go straight across the sky like this. It never goes up, and yes, I know that apparently it goes over the Indian Ocean here. Isn't that surprising how they say they finally pierce the layer or whatever, the dome over the Indian Ocean, where nobody can confirm that. Because I can confirm for you that it just goes straight across the sky like this, like a plane, and it's not even that high whenever they go from here. I see commercial air flights much higher than I've seen the rockets. Number 2, the Quran. Seriously. You can see, I believe in Christ consciousness. I have had visions of Jesus. I do believe many of the esoteric things of Jesus. I believe the myths of the Bible. And I am white. This is still my history. There are things they're hiding from you in here. It is extensively about the makeup, the moon, the chapter. It's called the moon. There's a chapter called the sun. And there's lots of stuff on angels. There's also stuff, though, that rebukes that you can come back to life. And we all know, realistically, this flesh and blood will not be resurrected. What will be resurrected is your spirit body, your glorious body. And that is in the Bible, but you have to really be quite an investigator to find that. But I did. It's your glorious body, your spirit body that'll be resurrected. Your matter, your clay, this belongs to this plane. Let me show you one other thing. Okay, so here's the makeup of an atom. Here's the electron cloud, okay, and the electron cloud. And here's where the matter is most dense. The nucleus is where the nucleus consists of blah, 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 blah. Where did it say it? It's where the nucleus is where it's the most concentrated matter. And look how it creates this plane here, okay? I also want to notice this is an educational material, and it has quarks down here, which quarks are believed to be the basic building blocks of elementary particles. Now, yes, it is important that we build on previous knowledge and that we know that quarks are believed, okay? Because once we start taking things that are believed and start saying it as fact, we start losing truth. This book I found at thrift stores. I love going to thrift stores and finding old books. The Promise of Space, written in 1968. Okay, 1969 we went to the moon, right? So here's a picture of what he says is a picture taken in 1967 of the far side of the moon. Now, any of us who've been researching Saturn know that is what they supposedly show as Saturn. Okay? But in 1967, he's saying that this is the backside of the moon. So I thought that was very curious. That is The Promise of Space, written by Arthur C. Clarke. He's got, he went to Harvard or something like that. I don't have time to review again his credentials. Also, this book, The Alchemy of the Heavens by Ken Croswell. Okay, I want to show you this picture here. It says, here's the sun, but this is the galactic center where the bulge is, right? Why would the sun be off from the galactic center and into the thick of things? And they have it thin disk, thick disk. And the sun and the thickness of these disks